Last Friday night at the Den, the Huskies delivered a statement. Against New Bern, they didn't just win, they dominated. 53-15, from the first snap to the final whistle. This was the kind of game you build a season around. They moved the ball at will. On the ground, they set the tempo, wearing down the defense. Through the air, they struck with accuracy and precision, finding the open receiver time and time again. The offense had found a sense of balance and rhythm, but most importantly, they found the end zone. On defense, the Huskies continued their reign of dominance, owning the trenches with speed, physicality, and an unshakable will. Every hit, every stop, a reminder of who controls the line of scrimmage. The Huskies' secondary didn't just cover receivers, it hunted them, turning every play into a trap, every throw into a misstep, smothering the Bears' air attack, cementing their dominance. All phases were in sync. It wasn't just execution, it was energy. A team rediscovering its identity, reclaiming its standard, and when every piece clicks into place, that's when the Huskies are
scary.
Under the Friday night lights in Cornelius, the Hough Huskies stood battle-scarred and undefeated, their momentum building with each victory. Coming off a string of hard-fought wins, the Huskies knew this was no night to rest on past success. And on a rainy night in late September, the Huskies' 11-game home winning streak, stretching back to last season, hung in the balance. From the opening whistle, the Husky defense bared its teeth, flying to the ball with relentless force, setting a tone that the night would belong to the pack. With the defense continuing its weekly dominance, the offense struggled to find a rhythm out the gate. A muffed snap by West Meck led to a fumble, setting up a short field for the Husky offense. On the doorstep of the goal line, running back Boogie Morrison powered his way into the end zone, giving Hough a 9-0 lead. The second quarter opened with a defensive explosion. Pressure from defensive lineman Sincere Money Brewster forced a wayward throw that landed right in the hands of linebacker Charles Puckett, sending the Husky offense back onto the field deep in West Meck territory. But after a failed fourth down attempt and another 3-and-out forced by the relentless Hough defense, quarterback Ethan Royal took matters into his own hands, scrambling 30 yards, weaving through the Hawks defenders, and bursting into the end zone for a touchdown, extending the Husky lead. On the very next series, the Huskies' defense struck again. Money Brewster burst through the line unblocked, collapsing the pocket and forcing a blind throw in the direction of star corner and Texas commit Samari Matthews, who capitalized flawlessly hauling in the interception, forcing Hough's third turnover of the half. With the clock winding down in the first half and the Hawks trapped deep in their own territory, the Husky defense readied itself for one final strike. Sophomore linebacker Ryan Peterson jumped the route, snatching the ball out of the air, and with nothing but open field ahead, rumbled his way into the end zone for his first career pick six.
Oh, in high school, that was my first pick six, you know. I actually scored last year on a fumble recovery, but it felt better to get a pick six, you know, because I actually earned it. And, you know, I jumped the pass. I saw nothing but green ahead.
As the first half expired, the Huskies marched into the break with a commanding lead. A lead that reflected just how dominant they can be.
Thank God, we're just better than this team. Ethan, if I could bench your ass out there, I would bench your ass right now. Swear to God. I swear to God I would.
Yeah, it was kind of different. It wasn't really up to our potential. We played down. We definitely played down to their level on offense. Offensively, defensively, you know, they play lights out like always. We didn't have a great game passing nor running really.
If you got to break down, make a play. I don't care about none of that. Offense, this shit is bad. Defense, how many points y'all got? 9, 8. It's bad. Terrible. It should be 40-0. 40-0.
I really did mean if I had somebody to replace it, I would have benched him Friday, by the way.
You lying. If our older guys ain't gonna step up and say nothing to nobody and try to get us going offensively, we might as well go ahead and get the young guys ready. Fuck it. Quiet and shit. I'm going. Y'all think about this shit terrible.
Out of halftime, the Huskies were hunting for a spark. And for the first time this season, it would come on special teams. Wide receiver Christian Carter caught the opening kickoff of the second half and exploded down the sideline for an 85-yard touchdown, reigniting the Huskies and setting the tone once again.
It's my first one. I was definitely excited. Right, okay, so definitely a big moment. Knowing how slow the offense started, we started really slow. And that's, on my behalf, we definitely did. And I just know that's not us. So now I'm just looking for a spark, because once you spark, it make a fire. So, you know, I know if I do something big, my team, my offense right behind me, and it's just like, it steps to it. And so I was just thinking, I just gotta catch the ball and go, get my head on the goalpost.
Honestly, man, it was really big, man. Honestly, I was happy for Christian Carter that, you know, they ran it back. You know, we've been trying to find ways to give him the ball more, because he's a guy that he works hard all the time. He's gonna always be where he needs to be, and you know, the balls that he's caught in games, he's had a lot of yak yards afterwards. You know, he catches the ball and he gets yards, he breaks tackles, and so for him to run that back, man, that was really good for him, and great for us to see, which gave us a spark coming out of halftime. You know, we still did some stuff offensively that, you know, that wasn't up to our standards, but for him to do that, it gave us a spark and we got rolling a little bit on offense.
The second half mirrored the first, a relentless showcase of Husky dominance. The defense swarmed, struck, and never let up, turning every Hawk advance into a desperate scramble. The offense, though inconsistent at times, found flashes of brilliance when it counted. Quarterback Ethan Royal dropped back, scanned the field, and unleashed a perfect strike to wide receiver Jameer Anderson. 20 yards slicing through the Hawks for 6. And with the game's final seconds ticking away, running back C.J. Baker powered through the line, driving into the end zone to deliver the knockout blow. The Hawks were finished, 43-0. Another test conquered, another chapter written.
Hey, defense, congratulations. Great job. Great job. Great job. Way to play your off. All right, way to come out and be ready to go.
I think that anytime you create turnovers and kind of execute what the game plan was really to go out, play fast, play free, and turn the ball over. That's been a point of emphasis for us this year, and we had a little success with getting the ball back to the offense.
All right, hey, offense, listen. We got this week off. All right, we're too inconsistent. I mean, super inconsistent on offense.
Offensively, we just been up and down. We're inconsistent. You know, we'll look good at some points, and then some points we look bad.
We got to find a way to be more consistent. We got to find a way. We got to dig deep and find a freaking way. We got a bye week. We got a bye week to do some thinking. But we got to come better. We can't allow the defense to have to play the game lights out every single game. Can't do it. We're not going to survive that way. We're not going to survive that way.
Chris played well up front. Money, Berlin, those guys got after it a good bit. You know what was interesting, that this was Jonah Holloway's first start, sophomore, and I thought he had a good game. He played physical and you know, for the most part, graded out pretty well. So I was really proud of him because I'm not sure if he knew he was going to be the starter, but he rose to the occasion.
All right, congratulations on the win with 6-0, 1-0 in the conference.
Man, it feels great. You know, especially when you hadn't played as well as you want to on offense. You know, everybody like Bake, man, listen, you know, you 6-0, yada, yada, yada. You can be dealing with this and being 2-4, you know. So being inconsistently on offense and defense playing the way they playing and being 6-0 is a great feeling, but you don't want to get complacent. You know what I mean? Because at any given moment, everybody's going to give Hough their best. You know, they play us like Alabama get played. Everybody's going to give you their best because they want to knock you off. And so, man, just being 6-0, having a chance to fix the stuff that we need to fix is a great feeling.
Now a pause in the fight. A week to recover, regroup, and sharpen the edge for the battles ahead.
You know, going in this bye week, man, the biggest thing is, especially offensively, is just to be more consistent, making sure we're doing everything that we do well and making sure that we're, you know, the blocking scheme and the run game is where it needs to be.
The season still stretches long for the Huskies, and greater challenges wait just beyond the horizon.
Nothing changes. It's really us versus us. Again, the challenge is being able to do the same thing all the time, doing the right thing for the right reason at the right time.
But the pack remains united, hungry and unshaken, driven by a vision bigger than the scoreboard.
You know, as a coaching staff, man, we just gotta make sure our kids stay humble. Make sure they stay humble, make sure they don't get complacent, make sure they want to work hard every day. It's just the intensity that we gotta bring to practice every day, and we can't let our foot off their neck.
This is Inside the Pack,